Since Overwatch has gone free to play, there's a harsh reality that many longtime players are hesitant to accept, so consider this your wake-up call. You, as the average Overwatch player, are no longer the prime customer for Blizzard. You are no longer the focus of their attention. They don't care if you buy anything like skins or battle passes from them. In fact, for the most part, they don't even care if you play the game anymore. And that's because of how the free-to-play model works. It's not about getting a large amount of the average player to make small purchases. It's about having a small amount of players willing to make very large purchases on a consistent basis. These people are known as whales. A single whale will spend more money on in-game purchases than 100 of the average players combined. This is what Blizzard is counting on. This is how almost every single mobile game and free-to-play game operates. It's an extremely successful and lucrative strategy. In case you're still in denial, let me be as clear as I possibly can. You, listening to this video right now, are no longer the customer that Blizzard cares about. You could quit today, and they wouldn't even blink. I had planned on making a large video talking about Overwatch 2 and going over all the things that were good and bad, and I found myself writing a script that was much too long for a single video, and there were a lot of points that I wanted to make that would probably get lost in the mix if the video went on for too long. So I decided to break it up into a few parts. Right now, it's looking like probably 3, maybe 4. With this video being the first, you can probably already guess what the topic is going to be, and that is the outrageous prices that Blizzard is charging for content. This is not limited to just the new event skins either. The absurdity encompasses all of the microtransactions involved in Overwatch 2. It's so absurd that the price for some of these in-game items is actually more expensive than the Overwatch game itself when it needed to be purchased. In some cases, you could have purchased multiple copies of the game for the same price that Blizzard now wants to charge you for just a legendary skin. This is all intended because you are not the customer anymore, the whales are. I've seen more than a few people suggesting that everyone should just stop buying these skins and it might be able to force Blizzard to lower their prices because after all, that's what happened once in the past with the skins for the Overwatch League. It was specifically the Genji and Tracer All-Star skins. Originally, there was supposed to be 300 tokens, about $15. Back then, I even made a video pointing out how ridiculously expensive it was. But I wasn't the only one, and there was enough of an uproar from the player base that Blizzard gave in and lowered the price to 200 tokens or $10. But there's a very important fact that you need to keep in mind, because at that point, Blizzard was still relying on people to buy the actual game, and they needed to have goodwill from the players. Flash forward to today, where they no longer need that. That's why we've seen an increase in not only the amount of tokens for these skins, but also the cost of the tokens themselves. They went up from 200 to 300 tokens, and the price per 100 token also went up by about $1. So instead of costing $10 for one of those League skins, it now costs $18. And this is one of the main reasons why I don't think Blizzard is going to want or even be willing to lower the price anymore. Their increase in the cost for these League skins flies directly in the face of whatever goodwill they may have been trying to get the first time around with the initial reduction. Back then, they needed the average players to contribute. However, now, they don't. You are not the focus. The whales are. However, it's not just an increase in costs, it's also a decrease in quality. These are what Blizzard wants to pass off as legendary quality skins that cost about $20. These look like garbage, and while that may be a subjective opinion, it is an objective fact to point out that these legendaries are remarkably similar to the default skin. During Overwatch 1, there were more than a few epic quality skins that were more interesting, more detailed, and of a higher variety than what passes for legendary skins right now in Overwatch 2. And it's not just the quality of the content, it's also the quantity of the content. Previously, a special event would have 5 or more legendary skins, 3 epics, and a boatload of other stuff like voice lines, sprays, and icons. Now, there is half as much, probably even less than that. This brings us to the matter of how event content is even earned. There are some small things that can be earned through achievements, but the good stuff, namely the skins, are locked behind paywalls. In Overwatch 1, Players would save up credits in order to use them during the events and unlock the vast majority of content by actually playing the game. That's what the average player would do, but remember, the average player, you, are no longer the focus of Blizzard. You are not their customer, the whales are. Blizzard doesn't care how many hours you actually put into the event to unlock stuff, they only care about whether or not your credit card is approved. But what if you're unwilling or unable to pay for this sort of stuff? Is there still a progression path within the game by simply playing it? Blizzard would tell you that yes, it is possible to earn all that stuff by simply playing the game and using credits. Of course, what they fail to mention is that it would take a player approximately 8 months to earn enough credits to get a single skin. You would have to do every single weekly challenge event for 8 months just to get one skin. Technically, Blizzard is telling the truth when they say that all of these items are available through in-game progression, but realistically, Blizzard knows that it's a joke and that for the overwhelming vast majority of players, it's unattainable unless you actually pay. But what about the Battle Pass? It's only $10 and you get a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, that's true, and it's probably the only thing being offered in-game that isn't completely scummy. Although there are definitely some very easy ways that the Battle Pass system could be improved, however, I'll save that for another video. And speaking of scummy behavior, we need to take a look at the quote-unquote discounted bundles. Now, normally, when a company wants to bundle a bunch of products together, it's beneficial to the customer because you can get all the stuff at a discounted price. Blizzard even does this in the Overwatch League part of the store. You can either get the skins individually, or you can get the bundle, which has all of them, at a discounted price. That's totally fine, because you can pick and choose and get the individual stuff if you want it. However, for the event part of the shop, you cannot do that. If you want to get some of these things, like, for example, the Kiriko bundle, if you just wanted the little charm, you can't get that. You must buy the entire bundle. And yes, I know that they're using the prices of what the items would normally be if they were sold, but those items cannot be purchased individually. You must purchase the entire bundle. So it's not really discounted. And again, there's some legal stuff here. Other people can talk about that. The fact of the matter is, whether it's legal or not, it's still scummy behavior to take a bunch of stuff and put it into a bundle and slap a discount on it and not allow the customers to actually purchase the things individually if they want to. But now let's go back to something that I mentioned earlier in the video about how there's a whole bunch of people that are now suggesting that the average player stop buying stuff from Blizzard for Overwatch 2 in the hopes that Blizzard will lower the price to a more reasonable level. I find this to be mostly wishful thinking and very unlikely. However, funny enough, I'm still going to suggest the very same thing that they are, but for a very different reason. See, they want you to stop buying this trash because they hope that Blizzard will eventually lower the price. I think that you should stop buying this trash because Blizzard could not possibly care less about you, and you could leave today and they wouldn't even notice.
I'm taking shots at the enemy. I'm gonna make it to the top, leave a legacy. If I got something to say, you better let me speak. Turn it up a new degree, bitch, you ain't seen anything. I pop off with the new rock, electronic, blow the sonic roof up. I'm too honest when I take a